World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Power2Plan show, where together we can build financially responsible leaders. Here we break down financial literacy and entrepreneurship in a way that empowers parents, guardians, and educators to start powerful conversations with youth about money management. I'm your host, Erodita Agard-Anderson, and I am so excited to launch this platform where real stories, practical strategies, and community impact come together. Today, I am joined by a very special guest, Tyrone Glover, a financial truth teller, educator, and CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery, who is dedicated to empowering families through real economic mobility. We're diving into the truth about credit recovery, the misconceptions that hold people back, and the journey of the entrepreneur behind this important work. So let's jump right in. Welcome, Tyrone.
Erodita, hello, my dear.
Hello, Tyrone. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so blessed to be part of your inaugural show. So again, congratulations. I love to be around those academic professionals that are just like me, who are doing the things that we should be doing for our community. So again, kudos. I'm going to give you my bow as a proud African-American male who. So go on, bring it.
Thank you so much. Well, let's jump right in. So can you tell us a little bit about what made you start doing this work and what motivates you to help people with credit recovery?
Come on now.
I think
it seems as if I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties. My sincerest apologies. I'm going to see if I can switch my. Oh, I thought I heard part of it.
No worries at all. It's technology.
This is horrible. No.
I can hear you,
I can
though.
switch my internet.
Okay. So while Tyrone is working on getting his internet together, I just want to thank you all for being here with us today. We appreciate you taking the time to come and sit with us to learn more about credit recovery and also how you can do your part to empower the youth to make informed financial decisions. So if you need additional assistance with that, or if you would like to take the time to sort of lead youth to the path of financial literacy, you can pick up a copy of my workbook, the Power2Plan Student Planner and Financial Literacy Workbook, on my website, power2plan.com. That's POWER, the number 2, PLAN.com. All right. So let's see. We are getting Tyrone back in with us. Oh, there he goes. Thank you so much, Tyrone, for joining us again. So when we left off, Yes. Can you hear me?
No, I was saying technology, this is what we're doing. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you perfectly.
Perfect.
Technology is a world that it's all its own, and we're going to manage the best we possibly can. So please go ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah. So just jumping right into our first question, I just wanted to see if you were able to share what made you start doing this work and what motivates you to help people with credit recovery.
When I came back from the United States military, I was over in Germany. When I came back to the States, I had found out that my credit was not where it needed to be. Mm-hmm. I did what most people traditionally do within our community, which we share and we say, hey, brother, hey, sister, sure, I'll help you get a phone. I'll help you get whatever it may be. And from that point on, I found out that, oh, my goodness, I put myself in a very precarious situation. So it helped me dive into the credit recovery space. And we all say credit fix, credit repair. Unfortunately, that's not the right verbiage. It's credit recovery. So credit recovery helps us move past the fix and the repair. It helps us understand it is a behavior. And the more that we dive into the behavior, we can then reconcile with what the differences are.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And so can you share a little bit about your journey as an educator and an entrepreneur and how those roles may complement one another?
Well, as an educator, I think it's super important that we're imposing upon our children the importance of making sure that they understand how money works. And again, if you've ever listened to Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, who is one of our true mentors in this momentum of motivation to make sure that we're doing the right thing on here on Soul City, she is an amazing voice. And she's helped me with understanding how we need to make sure that this moves in that right direction. So for me, credit recovery has become a passion. It's become a love. It's become something that I need to make sure that every single individual within the African diaspora are focusing on what you're putting out there into the world. The first thing an employer is going to look at, the first thing a bank's going to look at, the first thing, sad to have to say it, even a relationship might look at is, are you financially okay? So it's really super important that we're building upon that understanding. So I dove into it with fully the understanding of making sure that I was okay, family's okay, community's okay, and then I can branch out further than that.
Yes, I love that you mentioned community, and also our amazing mentor, Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, who is joining us in the comments today. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, and we will hopefully be seeing Dr. Woodhouse on the show next week. All right. So I love that you actually touched on my next question, but just to clarify for the audience, so why should we refer to it as credit recovery as opposed to credit repair?
I saw you had a question there, so let's not forget that restaurant. What are your thoughts on young people, preferably the ages of 18 to 25, getting a credit card? So I'm going to
Oh,
address your question first, and then I'll come back to this individual. Thank you so much for that question, both questions. And number one, credit repair. So again, credit recovery, credit repair. Because of how we have addressed it for generations, we can't repair these things. We can't fix these things. You can repair a car, you can fix a window. Credit is a behavior, and we have to focus on the behavior. Why do we even find ourselves in these predicaments anyway? Well, it's the behavior. We follow grandma or great grandma or auntie or uncle or things of that nature. And not saying that they were wrong, and by no stretch of the imagination. It's just that the industry kept shifting and changing. So unless we shift and change with the industry, we're always going to be behind the eight ball. We know the industry did not really think about having African Americans in it. It didn't even think about having Hispanics and a variety of different ethnicities. So we have to create what we want. We can't follow what these traditional standards are. And when we go back to Black Wall Street, when we go back to 125 different Black Wall Streets, alarming, 125. So my history, or our history, is far deeper. Changing the verbiage allows us to get the recovery that we're looking for. Now, to that question, yes, 18 to 25, absolutely. Now, there are two ways to solve that problem. Not even problem, my apologies, I used the wrong verbiage. There are two ways to address that concern. One, if you're going to add this individual to your credit profile, you can do it either as a authorized user, or, which there are two methods of the authorized user. Authorized user, you can use it as where they can just have access to your, they can have access to your progress and not access to your credit. Or if you trust the individual enough, you can add them to your credit profile where they can have access to your credit. But get your kids started early. 18 to 25 is a great age. They're just graduating high school. They're now entering into college. And it would be nice if our academic facilities were talking about it in a more advanced understanding versus waiting until they're at that graduation stage.
absolutely. And also, if I could add, this is a very important time, as Tyrone mentioned, to start building credit. But we have to be sure that these young people are using credit cards responsibly, because they can get a credit card, right? And then if they misuse it, that will stay on their credit report. Just one late payment will remain on their credit report for up to 7 years. So yes, while it can be the perfect way to start building credit, we have to make sure we're educating our youth on how to use the credit cards responsibly. So it will help them improve their credit and build their credit. Thank you so much for your question. All right.
Please be more. I want more. More.
Oh, okay. Yes. Keep the questions coming. So Tyrone, tell me, what is one common misconception about credit recovery that you wish more people understood?
That you can have things removed from your credit profile. A lot of us think that it's on there for 7 years. These are negotiation opportunities for us to increase our ability to negotiate with creditors. Creditors are businesses. And I'm going to tell everybody, every single person out there, you are a business. You have to run that household like a business. And the more that you understand it, so you have to reach out to myself, you have to reach out to Dr. Yana B, you have to reach out to the host currently offering this exceptional understanding of the new platform from Erodita. And you have to look for people who are, or individuals who are in that space who can help you. It's okay to ask for help. The system itself has literally put us in a position where we're afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid. I was afraid, and I'm sure millions of consumers out there today are equally afraid to ask for help. Do not be afraid. So you have to distinguish what's important to you. Do you want success, or do you want to continue following the cycle of what created the concern to begin with?
Absolutely. And if I could just piggyback off of what you mentioned as well, not only can things be removed, right? But it's also not difficult. Some people say, oh, I don't have the time, I don't have the money. Literally, you can take those steps for free. Just contacting the credit bureaus, providing documents. So it can be done, and it is simple, guys. Thank you so
Oh,
much, Tyrone.
Erodita, you are so right. It is simple. But
Yeah.
as you said, something that I'm going to piggyback off what you just said. We don't have the time. We got 168 hours in a week. We have to find that time. My apologies. We have to make that time. If your understanding of scrolling social media is important, you make time for that. If your understanding of driving in traffic and to get to work is important, then you have to make that time. You have to make that time for your financial education to remove some of these barriers that have been plaguing our systems or our lineage for the last, I'm going to say, 7 generations.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you so much. So, Tyrone, from your experience, what are the biggest mistakes people make that harm their credit without them even realizing it?
Not checking their credit report.
Yeah.
Bottom line. Not checking it. If you don't check something that somebody else is going to check before they give you an approval, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Absolutely. And just to share a funny story, my grandmother and I have the same name. And I remember when I tried to go and get my first credit card, I was declined. And I just said, oh my goodness, wait, what happened? And then when I pulled my credit report, I saw, right, she had just retired. So, you know, where the insurance kicks in and things kind of linger. And she had a medical bill that was on my credit report accidentally. So then I had to go and then try to have that removed. We'll have it removed from my credit report. But just like you said, had I checked my credit report in advance, I would have seen that error and then not have been denied for that credit card. So that is an amazing tip.
Yes. And we just have to get. Go ahead.
Is there a time constraint for when you can request something being removed from your credit?
There is a window, all right? And it's really important that you know an item can stay on your credit report for up to 7 years. But you, as I said, you're a business. You're the CEO of your household. So if you stop inquiring, then guess what? They're going to leave it at where it is. They're going to leave it. It's your job to be persistent in the removal. All right. So again, if you do once, because they're betting on us to say what? Oh, as soon as they say no, so we wallow in the corner. No, if they say no, that's more reason for us to be even more persistent. Mm-hmm. As you said so eloquently, you said you and your grandmother share the same name.
Yes.
But you knew it wasn't yours.
Absolutely. And the questions are rolling in this evening. So from Dr. Woodhouse, what can a person do if their parents use their Social Security for their bills and then default? Now they are adults. So common in our community.
Now, again, I'll go ahead and address it unless you want me to address it, but you want to take it or should I take it?
No, you are the expert this evening, please.
I'm loving being the expert. Yes, so I'm going to take this one. You do not, under zero circumstance, if it's not you, then you have to fight that it's not you. Your job is to get it removed, regardless of name similarities. If you didn't do it, then why should you be penalized for it? All right, and that's where we, the experts in this space, come in play. If you can't do it on your own, find someone like us. You got Erodita, you got myself, you got Dr. Yana. We're going to always be referencing and making sure that we're servicing our community, wholeheartedly. It's not about competition between us in this space. It's about making sure that we're putting you in front of that face that's going to solve that problem. So if a parent, whatever the means may have been, we're going to get that item removed because it wasn't you who did it. And I found out the hard way, but it's what made me dive even further into this credit space to make sure that our people were not being subjected to something that they didn't do.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, we have another question here. Is it difficult to remove errors from your credit report?
Absolutely not. Now, the process might seem arduous, but it is not difficult. Because the first thing that they want is they want you to be denied. They want to say, nope, there's nothing we can do. And then again, as I said, we walk in the corner. No, you do not give up. You continue, because this time you might not have met the right person or the circumstances itself. Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, they're using automated processes now. They don't have Joe, Jim, Sally, Mary, whomever verifying this. So your job is to continue the process. So you get that first, nope, there's nothing we can do. You follow up, second, third, fourth. And eventually what we should be creating is we should be creating a pipeline that has 50, 100, 200. So we can then, I'm sorry to have to say this, sue them beyond. We can do it one at a time, and I can break one pencil, snap, snap, snap. But 50 pencils is going to be hard to break them 50 pencils. So we have to stay vigilant. It is not difficult to have an item removed. You have to stay persistent. Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian have a track record of multiple millions of dollars of fines. And they're just betting on you to say, oh, I denied you once, meaning I didn't remove it, so it's going to stay on there for 7 years. Absolutely not.
Thank you so much. All right, so let's keep chugging along. So
Yes.
What is one simple action someone can take today to start improving their credit profile?
Annualcreditreport.com. Not Credit Karma, not buying into the fact that let me go to Equifax singularly, let me go to Experian singularly, let me go to Equifax Experian, let me go to them singularly. No, what you want to do is you want to get the whole gamut. Annualcreditreport.com. And then you want to follow that process. It's weekly. You can get your credit report weekly. So that means at least once out of all of those 4 weeks, you should be checking at least once out of those 4 weeks. Now you know what's going on. And once you know what's going on, you can then manage it into your busy lives, as we all know we have. And then you can decide, okay, I'm going to spend 1 day. I'm going to spend 2 days, whatever it may be, depending on that credit profile. And remember, you have Erodita. You have Dr. Yana B. You have Mr. Glover, Tyrone, at your disposal. So if you're not using us for that reason, then what we're doing this for nil. And this is not what we're doing this for. We're doing this to empower. We're doing this to make sure that our people understand every bit of what they have to do. So again, annualcreditreport.com. You got to start where the information is being uploaded.
Thank you so much. So in lines with that, do you have a success story, without sharing any personal details, of course, that shows how credit recovery can change someone's life?
Absolutely. I have oh my goodness. I can start with, there was a young man who had a credit situation and it was hampering him from getting credit. I'm just going to state it like that. So he had a debt. It was about $40,000. And he was really like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I said, again, first of all, you're being sued. And this sometimes is what happens when you're being sued by a creditor. It ends up in court. And now you're having to take time off of work and go to court to argue whether or not you did it, whether or not you didn't do it. But long story short, he went into court. He was able to argue it successfully because sad to have to say that these lawyers now are piggybacking off of this revenue stream. Because that's what it is. The original creditor decides to say, I'm going to write it off. They sell it to somebody else on pennies on the dollar, and now you're dealing with a third party. Mm-hmm. Please, I want everybody to really understand that. You do not owe a third party. Okay? If the original creditor has chosen not to pursue because they chose to take the option which is available, which is the write-off option, you do not owe a third party, but you do have to know how to argue it in court. So the success story that I'm more or less referring to is this individual went to court, argued it successfully, and had the whole debt wiped off. Didn't have to pay another red dime because he was able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the third party was not the original creditor, because the original creditor had already capitalized off of the bad debt deduction. The courts, sad to have to say this, as much as I love the judicial process, the judicial process are co-conspirators. Okay? Lawyers are piggybacking because it's a revenue stream for them. So we have to get more savvier, smarter, more intelligent about how credit truly works. It's not just, I'm going to get a credit card and I'm going to rack it up. No, we're never going to advocate for that. Be responsible when you do get a credit card. Understand that you have to pay on time. You have to bring down your utilization. And there are going to be 3 factors that are going to tie in equally. So if you need help with being responsible, that's what we're here to do. But never take for granted the understanding that a lender is saying, I trust you, just like any other relationship. I trust you, so go out and do the right thing. But anytime you find yourself not where you need to be, reach out. But this success story is that the individual went to court and they ended up finding out, I don't owe a third party, but because we prepared them so well, they were able to argue it successfully to where the judge said, dismissed.
Nice. I love that. And that is an amazing success story. $40,000 in debt wiped away. I know he was so relieved. That was great. So I know you previously shared that you are also the executive director of the Yonkers Young Entrepreneurs Program. That is so exciting. What advice would you give to our aspiring entrepreneurs, especially those interested in offering services to the community?
As a young entrepreneur, I'm going to always advocate what my Dr. Yana B always suggests is learn how money works. Money should be working for you. If you think you work for money, you do not. But there was another question. I hope that question pops back up. But you do not. Can a person make it in the world without credit? Just live in a cash world? No. Credit is a building tool. And I'll get back to your question in just a minute, Aradon. Credit is a building tool. It is a building tool. It's the one tool that builds over and over and over and over. And without having a exceptional credit score, you're limiting yourself to the possibilities of what life is going to present to you. So you never want to minimize yourself by not having an exceptional credit profile. It will hinder you and prevent you from the successes that could come by having an exceptional credit report, or an exceptional credit profile. And again, youth of today, please learn how money works. If you learn how money works at an early age, you will not sabotage the efforts and the opportunities that are going to be available that have been written in stone by our ancestors. We keep thinking Black Wall Street was a joke. Black Wall Street was real. It was our ancestors who more or less laid it out for us and told us, if we follow this playbook, we can be equally successful. But we know there were the oppressors that didn't want us. And I say it over and over and over. We took over basketball. We took over baseball. We took over football. We about to take over soccer. Well, actually, if you think about the southern regions of our Hispanic brethren and sisterin, we took over soccer too. And if they can warm up a hockey rink, we'll take over that too.
Thank you so much. And just to add as well, I know so many people who just live a cash life, right? And then when it's time to, maybe you might want to go and purchase your first car, or maybe you want to purchase your first property or a home. You certainly need a credit profile, as Tyrone mentioned, in order to do those things. Even some jobs are checking credit scores and your credit report. Even for an apartment, I know someone who was looking for their first apartment and they just lived the cash life and they had to get a cosigner, and it's difficult. People don't want to cosign on loans for people. So certainly make sure you take Tyrone's advice and make sure you have a really good credit profile. So we have another question. What is a good credit score?
750 or above. 750 or above. That's going to put you in a percentage around that 257 annual APR. That's okay. You're going to pay APR. You might as well get out of the fact that you're not going to pay it. And we should be okay with paying that annual percentage rate. Because eventually what that does is allow for you to reduce it over time. You create leverage for yourself to where after a year or two, you can go back to that same bank and you can say, hey, I've been giving you APR. Let's drop it down to 2. Let's drop it down to 0. If we knew that banks were getting money from the Federal Reserve at 0%, then they can share that love. Unfortunately, we don't know how to negotiate, so we don't get that love shared back.
Thank you so much. And so going back to our question, we had some great questions in the comments. Thank you guys. So as the executive director of the Yonkers Young Entrepreneurs Program, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs, especially those interested in offering services to the community?
Well, young entrepreneurs, I can just say, again, be passionate, understand the industry that you're getting into, and again, always seek advice from those mentors, those educators, those tutors who can help you navigate that space more successfully. It's going to be challenging. A service is not like a product. You are the product as a service. So you have to be factual. You have to be data-driven. You have to know your industry inside and out. So you're going to have to do that research. You're going to have to do those analysis. You're going to have to make sure that you are following a variety of different sources to, again, build that knowledge base. As you can hear me, I'm talking primarily from information that I know about, but again, it's all because I built that knowledge base. Regardless of which space you decide to get into, I focus primarily on financial literacy. Whether you're going into the sports world, mental health, whatever that may be, please make sure that you do your due diligence of learning your industry inside and out. Then that makes you an authority in that space.
Thank you. And I love that you also touch on the fact that entrepreneurship is not always easy. Some people think, oh, I'm running my own business. I'm my own boss. I can do that. It's simple. And so just to explore that a little more, what's one lesson you learned while building your business that you wish you had known earlier?
I wish I had a Matt McCoy and I had a Yana B.
Don't we all?
Yes, yeah. And I'm going to throw one more name out there. I wish I had a Jasmine Pfeiffer as well, because she kept me on point to make sure that I was delivering the content in the manner in which it needed to be delivered to the audience. You're going to always make mistakes. And if you think of mistakes as a the failures are learning. So I always tell everybody, it doesn't matter how many mistakes you make along the way. The journey is the journey. Please be okay with the learning. And that's what's important. The mistakes is just mistakes. It's just a word, unfortunately. And unfortunately, it's what oppressors use to make you or deprave you of your success that is to come. So look forward to those mistakes because you're going to learn from them. And you're just going to get better and better and better and better as time goes on.
I love that. Love it, love it, love it. So as we wrap up, if someone only has 20 to 30 minutes a week to work on their finances, what do you suggest they focus on?
20 to 30 minutes to focus on their finances. I would always say the data. Make sure your data represents who you are. So that means you're going to have to dive into Equifax, TransUnion, Experian. Don't worry so much about the score. Okay, the score is just a deceptive method to take you away from the actual core of what you should be focusing on, which is the data. If the data is incorrect, guess what's also incorrect? The score. So focus on time frame. As I said, 168 hours in a week. I almost said fine, but make time, and whether that be a half an hour, or whether that be an hour, to do your due diligence. Did you know companies have accountants? They have bookkeepers. You have you. So if you could go out and hire an accountant and bookkeeper, you'd probably be a very successful household. But unfortunately, we don't. But we are already successful in so many ways. We work at companies. We work within industries. We're doing so much to make sure that these companies and industries are thriving, but we're literally not putting that same focus into our household. So the suggestion that I have for all young people, entrepreneurs, elderlies, middle class, marginalized communities, the working poor, is to make time for what's going on in your household. You are the CEO. Now your household could either thrive or it could bankrupt. And I, along with Adira and Soul City, we want you to make it. We want you to make it.
We have a request for you, Tyrone, from Soul City. Let me borrow $500.
Well, I have a suggestion for you. I can either give you a fish and you can eat for a day, or I can teach you how to fish and you can eat for a lifetime. Which one would you choose?
Well, let's hope he makes the right choice. Tyrone,
Exactly.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It has been such a pleasure to have you on the show, and especially as our very first guest. So we truly wanted to thank you for being here with us today.
I want to thank you so much for, again, this amazing opportunity. Again, I can already tell by that wonderful smile. I can already tell by how you went with all of the inconveniences of technology and how you really stayed the true trooper to your expertise in your craft. I applaud you. Again, as a African-American male who understands that our queens are going to be out there doing their things, thank you so much for allowing me into your space to do what I do. And I wish you nothing but continued success.
Thank you so much, Tyrone. That really means a lot.
All the best. All the best to you.
Thank you. And enjoy the rest of your evening.
Well, thank you so much. Soul City, I love you. Keep it on. Keep it going.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Power to Plan show. A huge, huge, huge thank you to our guest, Tyrone Glover, for sharing such practical insights and reminding us that improving your credit isn't just a financial move. It's a generational move. If something resonated with you here today, please make sure you connect with our guest, support his work, and take that next step towards strengthening your financial foundation. And don't forget, this platform is all about empowering adults to help the next generation plan with purpose, develop strong financial skills, and grow into confident, financially responsible leaders. Make sure you subscribe, share this episode with someone who needs it, and stay tuned for more conversations. If you're interested in exploring key financial literacy topics for youth independently, please be sure to secure your copy of the Power2Plan Student Planner and Financial Literacy Workbook available on my website, www.power2plan.com. I'm your host, Erodita Anderson, and this has been the Power2Plan Show. Until next time, remember you have the power to keep planning, keep growing, and empowering our youth to make informed financial decisions. Thank you again, and have a good evening.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.